Okay, good evening. Um, Once again, I just want to let everybody know that we are recording this session. This is a concurrent enrollment parent and student information meeting. If you have questions, you can type them into the chat and I will happily answer them at the end of this presentation. Again, thank you for taking the time to come to this presentation, and I hope that I can answer most of your questions. So, welcome. My name is Danica Johnson. I'm the Director of Academics at Shawsheen Tech. I recognize some of the people on this call and know some of you. The other individuals who are involved in concurrent enrollment include my department chairs, Mr. Jeff McGrath, he is the Mathematics Department Chair, Mr. Kevin Bloom, who is our English Department Chair, Miss Amy Milkowski, it's actually Dr. Amy Milkowski, our Science Department Chair, Dr. Dave Maroney, Social Studies and Spanish Department Chair, and Miss Heather Tate, my administrative assistant. If you have questions, at the end, these individuals are also great to contact as they can answer them specific to their subject. Okay, so what is concurrent enrollment? Concurrent enrollment are courses that are taught at Shawsheen Tech by our teachers who have been vetted by Middlesex Community College as adjunct professors. So these individuals are fully certified as professors through MCC, except they teach the class during the school day at Shawsheen, right in our building during kids' normal schedule. And they're delivered this coursework to get credit for both MCC classes and Shawsheen at the same time. So thus the word concurrent enrollment. So you're concurrently enrolled in Middlesex Community College and Shawsheen Tech at the same time. The benefits of this, students stay at our campus on Shawsheen campus the entire time. So we are very excited to offer these concurrent enrollment programs. We decided on concurrent enrollment over AP because the credits are transferable within the mass transfer system, meaning that they will transfer to any Massachusetts state school or university. But students can begin building a college transcript at half of the cost of what it would be if they started and they enrolled at MCC upon graduating Shawsheen. So it really allows students to also complete a full, it allows them the entire time to complete a course rather than just one semester. They can complete it over a full year. I know that our students go to shop every other week, but they do have more time than they would if they enrolled post their senior year. CE students are also given access to all the facilities at MCC. If a student is enrolled in a concurrent enrollment class through Shawsheen and they have a project that they need to do research for any other class they're taking, they can go to MCC's campus and use their library, computer lab, any of the facilities. Again, students are provided with both MCC credit and Shawsheen Tech credit, and we give it the highest weight possible on the GPA scale. So there are students from the class of 2025 and their guardians and parents on this call, as well as students from the class of 2026 and their parent guardian. We do offer concurrent enrollment in the junior year for one class, and that class is chemistry. The requirements for chemistry are that the student meets readiness requirements for English 101. That is an MCC requirement, Middlesex Community College, and they determine that a student is ready for that threshold by receiving a PSAT or SAT score of 480 or higher for their reading and writing portion of the PSAT or SAT. All students on this call have met these thresholds. So this is really more to talk about if something were to happen majorly fourth quarter, or if your grades sort of slip while you're taking concurrent enrollment classes. Additionally, students need an 80% or better in these math courses to qualify for CE Chem, at least a 3.0 high school GPA, and the 10th grade science teacher recommendation. The qualifications for concurrent enrollment for the class of 2025 are essentially the same, except it's the 11th grade subject matter course that they need an 85 or higher in. They need an 11th grade subject matter teacher recommendation. The student's GPA has to be a 3.0 and they need to maintain that. So if something happened in fourth quarter where the GPA drops below a 3.0, it becomes a little tricky because Middlesex it sets these thresholds for us, and we have to abide by them to run the courses and to sign students up for these courses. I'll talk about that more in just a few minutes. Okay, so per our MOU, our Memorandum of Understanding with MCC, we must submit either the multiple measures form, the PSAT scores for the students, and their transcript. So the evidence that they are ready for English 101, the GPA report. They really are sticklers at letting students into the courses for these thresholds. Like I said, all of you on this call have met the PSAT, SAT thresholds. You've gotten the recommendation from your teacher. I don't anticipate this happening, that your GPA drops below a 3.0. If it did, I would have a conversation with you over the summer. I'll get in contact with you and we can troubleshoot. All right. The courses that we are going to offer this spring, or excuse me, next school year, that students are enrolling for this spring include English Comp 1. So that's your typical English 101 class that most freshmen in college take. That is worth 5 credits here at Shawsheen and 3 at MCC. Go into a little bit more detail in a moment on these. English Comp 101 plus an honors literary analysis, stats, Calc 1, intro to chemistry is only offered for the juniors, physics, and American government for seniors also. Okay, so what are the costs associated with taking concurrent enrollment courses? So the good news is that students are charged half of the rate of that they would be if they were to graduate from Shawsheen and matriculate onto MCC. But it's $126 per credit hour, so most courses end up being about $378. There's no extra fees for books or any hidden sort of student activities fees. It is sort of the fee just for the credits. CE Chemistry and CE Physics also have a lab component with them, so that adds in the extra credit. We do have some financial aid options available. I don't want cost to be the reason that students don't take these courses. If students qualify and they're motivated, they should be afforded the opportunity. So if there are concerns about that, please go ahead and email our Director of Guidance, Mr. Jim Carlson. The other unique piece of concurrent enrollment courses, and one of the reasons I host a meeting like this, is because MCC, to offer these courses, has to have us follow certain parameters, including those that also apply to freshmen in college. When you get to college, if you have an IEP or a 504 right now, that would have to be reevaluated. There are no IEPs in colleges. There are only 504 accommodations. So things like extended time, those are very rarely given in these concurrent enrollment courses. In fact, they can only be given or provided if the student, the Shawsheen student, goes through the MCC Disability Support Services. And this is probably the only sort of snafu that we run into with concurrent enrollment courses, because guys, the our staff is fantastic. The Shawsheen staff is unbelievable and so good at teaching these courses. However, they have to uphold sort of like timed exams at some points for midterms and final exams. And students who generally have the accommodations for this sometimes look to try to use them at that time. However, we cannot allow these exceptions unless the student has been vetted by MCC. They're awarding college credit, they're awarding post-secondary credit, so they keep these very strict requirements, especially around accommodations. If you or your student needs these accommodations, contact the Office of Disability Services. There's an entire office at MCC dedicated to determining what supports are necessary and what supports they can accommodate. So you can certainly work with them and they will work with you. But Shawsheen and the SPED department and the guidance department really isn't allowed to intervene in those sorts of situations. The expectations for the coursework. These are college level courses. So there's increased time, commitment, level of independence, level of rigor, and level of self-advocacy. We are walking this fine line of taking college classes at Shawsheen with sort of MCC expectations, but also these students are 16, 17, 18 years old, so they are still very much adolescents. Obviously, teachers would still email and communicate with parents. However, that self-advocacy piece is really, really strong. This is sort of the best time to learn it because we're dancing that fine line between sort of being a college level course and holding the standards for accommodations while also trying to understand that everybody's balancing a lot being high school students. Students can anticipate homework on both their academic and shop week. Deadlines are strict and cannot be altered. The teachers all have a MCC portal where they enter grades and they have to adhere to very strict deadlines. So it's not as though we can extend the term or extend deadlines. Makeup opportunities really should not be expected. There will be a course syllabus that will outline all of the expectations that you will be responsible to read. Assessments are timed. In some classes, there will be a final assessment and a midterm assessment. I can't think of any class where there is not a final assessment, so that should be anticipated. And students must earn a grade of 70 or higher to get MCC credit. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through the courses that we offer and a brief description of each, and then I will open it up to questions, see if I can sort of explain anything in greater detail. So our concurrent enrollment history course is offered to juniors only. It earns students 4 Middlesex credits and 5 Shawsheen credits. The weekly work expectations you can see are about 20 to 30 minutes of daily independent work, and shop week about 2 to 5 hours of independent work. I would encourage students to talk to their peers about their experience in some of these courses. As I can imagine, this shop week homework could sound pretty daunting. However, I know that maybe there are times throughout the year where that is the expectation, but not always. This course does cover the basic principles of chemistry, and it will prepare students for college level chemistry. Formal lab reports are required at the end of each lab with additional research on the topic, and we follow, all of MCC's grading rubrics. Concurrent enrollment English Comp 101. It's really about the writing in this class and the writing process. So it will get you 3 MCC credits and 5 Shawsheen credits. Writing assignments are due every Monday, in this class, and often 500-word essays. Students should expect 30 to 45 minutes of daily independent work on their academic week and 2 to 4 hours of shop week homework. The fee for this course, because it is 3 credits, is $378. We also have a concurrent enrollment English Composition 101 plus English Literary Analysis. So those are 2 separate courses in college. We can only give 3 MCC courses for this, but we do give 6.5 Shawsheen credits. This does have more weekly work expectations. However, this course is awarded the most credits on the academic side of the house, and so therefore worth sort of the highest possible GPA. In the academic week, there's 30 to 50 minutes of daily independent work. On the shop week, there's about 3 to 6 hours of independent work. This class is a lot of reading and a lot of writing. For each term, students will be expected to read at least 2 full novels, write 1 10-page paper, and complete at least 1 additional project. Concurrent enrollment statistics is one of 2 math classes that we offer for concurrent enrollment. It will get you 3 Middlesex credits and 5 Shawsheen credits. The weekly work expectations, or more the daily work expectations, are about 30 minutes to an hour. And the shop week is about 3 hours per week. Again, this is another class that I would say fluctuates in work, but definitely an excellent course to take for any major of study, because it is a general statistics course, which would prepare students or exit them from a statistics course in college. Concurrent enrollment physics is going to be a new course that we are offering next year for the first time. This will get students 4 Middlesex credits and 5 Shawsheen credits. The weekly work expectations are about 20 to 30 minutes of daily independent work, and the shop week are 2 to 3 hours of independent work. Physics 1 is the first of a 2-semester algebra trig sequence, and the emphasis is placed on understanding through problem solving. We're really excited for this opportunity. Again, the fee for the class is $504 because it has that lab component. Concurrent enrollment government will get you 3 Middlesex credits and 2.5 Shawsheen credits. This ends up being a 5-period elective class instead of a 10-period double block class. So students will complete about 20 to 30 minutes of daily independent work and about anywhere from 2 to 5 hours of shop week. There's a lot of critical thinking, analyzing of texts, examining different documents, and coming to conclusions. There's a little bit of like social responsibility work, but a great class if students can fit it into their schedule. So after all of this, I hope that you are still interested in concurrent enrollment. Again, some high schools offer AP courses or dual enrollment. We offer concurrent enrollment because students can stay right on Shawsheen campus, take the course. If they get a 70 or higher, they are awarded credit for the course. They are building a transcript, and students need to know that they got to take that seriously, because that transcript will end up impacting them significantly for the rest of their career. So it's positive, but it's a very serious endeavor. If you are, and with AP, the last thing I want to say about AP is that students have to generally get a 4 or a 5 to have the course count towards any sort of college credit, and some schools accept it, some schools don't accept it. Again, with MCC courses, some schools accept them, some schools don't, but they are guaranteed in the Massachusetts transfer system. What happens if you change your mind before July 15th? You can just email Miss Tate and myself and we can remove you from the roster. You'll need to select some sort of alternate course to fill your schedule and indicate that in your email communication. If you're no longer interested because of financial aid or implications, please email Mr. Carlson. That is, he can assist with that. Students can also remain in the course and take it for honors credit instead of CE credit. If this is the choice, students will not receive MCC credit, nor will they pay anything for the course. If you change your mind and you're already in the fall, okay, so we're in this course, we've sent your information over to MCC, you have a very small window to change your mind. Once the MCC processes you through their system and registers you for the class, if you don't meet their deadline of withdrawing through them, which is usually right around October 1st, October 15th, they will bill you for the class. So there's nothing I can do at that point once they have rostered you and you haven't communicated back to them. So you risk forfeiting your non-refundable fee. I just want to throw that out there. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened. Students can also, again, take the course for honors credit and would not have to pay the concurrent enrollment fee as long as you dropped in time. I do have one more slide about contact information, but I did see in the chat that someone mentioned I missed the calculus slide, so I'll go back to that, go to my contacts, and then answer a few of the questions. So concurrent enrollment for calc is the second of the 2 math classes that we offer for concurrent enrollment in senior year. It is the highest level calc that MCC lets any high school offer. So we are proud of that because for science and engineering, it's often like you have to take a calc class prerequisite for this. But for that reason, it is a rigorous course. It's an excellent course. Students are well prepared to matriculate in most cases onto Calc 2, or even if they can just move on to statistics and fulfill their math requirement in college with the calculus. All right. If you have questions or comment or specific to a discipline, you can contact one of my department chairs. You can always CC me on the email. Again, for financial aid, definitely get in touch with Mr. Jim Carlson. I'm going to go to the chat quickly to see if I can answer some questions. And again, I will save this recording, post copies of this slides online, and share this out. Someone asked some information about MCC and sending information out. So MCC is not amazing at communicating with high school families. They will send you a bill and people often email me in the fall worried that they might have missed a bill. They will probably not bill you until mid-November. However, you are on the hook starting like October 15th. So don't miss that October 15th deadline. Your students' grades will be posted to the MCC portal in June, and then they will share with you when you can access your transcript in Blackboard. So you will get information from your teacher on how to access Blackboard through the course syllabus that you get on the first or second day of class. Some of you who have already registered for these courses have received the summer information for possibly like summer reading. If you have other questions like, oh, Ms. Johnston, I can't get into this, or I'm confused about anything going with MCC, I can usually at least facilitate a conversation between a parent and somebody at MCC to get that question answered. Heather and I have been doing this at Shawsheen for 4 years, so we know a lot of the answers to the questions regarding MCC, but not all of them. Additionally, the woman who I work with in vetting all my courses, I've worked with her at 15 years for the past 15 years through MCC. So we have an awesome relationship and we can usually work most things out. The slides will definitely be emailed. Yes, so these concurrent enrollment classes are valid for all Massachusetts state schools and universities and community colleges. That is all that I can guarantee they are valid for. There are several students who have taken these courses over the years and have applied them to other schools in other states. However, because colleges and universities differ so significantly in their requirements and what they're looking for, I can't guarantee that they will or they will not. So what I've always encouraged students to do is to reach out to the schools that they're thinking of applying to or that they have applied to, explain that they're taking concurrent enrollment courses through Middlesex, and ask them if they accept transfer classes. I can get you any course description you need if you need to share that with the college or university. Um, but some of them are so particular that it would really just it would be dependent upon their specific admissions requirement. Um, yes, that is a great question. If you opt to just register for the course in honors, not in MCC credits, can you use your 504 accommodations? Absolutely. That is an excellent question. You can. You can also use all of your IEP accommodations. If that is the reason you're choosing honors over CE, however, anybody on this call, I'd love for us to have a conversation. Because maybe we can find some middle ground or I can help you sort of work with the disabilities office because going into your junior and senior year, this might be something we need to talk about that needs to be implemented in college, or we might be able to find a different solution. Great question, though. So again, I'm going to stop the recording at this moment. I will